Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about SNDL, Sundial Growers Inc. I'm going to go through technical analysis briefly, and then I'm going to focus on to catalysts, news, and what I think about this company, presentations, etc. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. Let's jump right into it. On the 1 week perspective, what we get to see here, an MACD that doesn't really show us much, an 80x that shows in a potential of a trend forming, volume is picking up a little, but other than that, it's been pretty stagnant. Moving averages looks bearish, and so we need to look into a 1 day perspective for the reason of that we need to identify what is the next move. Now, the kind of graph is going to look ugly because of the 200 SMA being at 73 cents, around 700% where it is right now, but bear with me. Moving averages are still bearish. Below the 200 SMA, 50 SMA, 30 EMA is above 10 SMA, and it's in the bearish trading action zones where bearish reverses are likely. Now, momentum is still negative, William %R overbought, MACD stagnant, sideways, and ADX shows in that. Now, the next thing is the moving averages. On the top, 21 cents, 19 in the middle, and 17 in the bottom. We get to see it already met the top and the middle. It could either meet the top back again or just drop down to 17 cents. Now, it hasn't traded within this band for a while, so it'll be interesting. But the unbalanced volume looks like it's actually on the way back up. More inflow than outflow as usual. Or than usual. Stochastic fast and slow. This one here doesn't show us a good indication. I mean, it shows us there is a push towards green and it might have a little bit more further on the leg up, but it shows in that it got up way too fast, and that might be a bit more dangerous, similar to something in this case scenario, or similar to this one. But it looks like the support here is astonishing. Now, Fibonacci retracement supports, it's hard to believe that this one traded around 1322 not long time ago, and right now it's trading pennies around 13 cents. I mean, I even remember buying it almost at 50 cents or 45 cents a while back, so that is a really massive loss. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to identify supports and resistances outside Fibonacci retracement, because that's not going to work. Sometimes you need to identify what's going to work and what's not. So, significant supports currently is the 19 cent mark. That is almost kind of being touched down, so once we go 1850 or lower, then we're in trouble. Currently did not break that technical support, and then 17 cents, and then below that we're looking at 16 cents all the way back here, and then we're looking down all the way to 15 cents and then 14 cents. Resistances, I think if we happen to actually go on and break that 20 cent mark and stay above it, that's a significant resistance. And then the next one up would be the 22 cents, and then above that we're looking all the way to 25 cents. So it has a room to grow. Now it comes to the exciting stuff. What do they have? This presentation is from August 21st, so it's a little bit outdated, but it gives us a lot of the information we need. So first they have, here they show 5 different brands. They actually extended to a 6th one. I'm going to go in a second. But basically, they have different things related to either, well, if you haven't known already, this company sells cannabis cannabis consumables in Canada. So they don't have a market in the US yet, at least, just because it's not legal per se, but it's legal in Canada and they have a market for them. So currently they have Top Leaf, for instance, has flower, pre-roll, concentrates, and vape. We look into the BC weed. That's a legendary BC grown one. Flower, vapor, concentrates. It's a little bit different compared to this one here. It's more of a little bit of a higher class from my understanding. They have a different plot. I'll show it to you in a second. And you got the Sundial experiential cannabis for the modern consumer. They have oil, flower, pre-roll, topicals, and vape as well. And they got the Palmetto, which is a little bit of a different kind of style, more hippie per se, and joints, carts, and buds. Now, I don't know the difference exactly, but I think the best way to kind of compare these ones are if someone has actually tried them. So, you know, if you have this person from Canada you haven't talked to in a while, you might want to be hitting them up, you know, if they ask them about these products if they tried them. Now, Grasslands here, they're grown in Canada, similar to all the other ones. Flower, vape, and concentrates, and now going on towards the market, market share for them, and this is the important one. Top Leaf is a premium, BC Weed is premium core, you got Palmetto is core. Premium core. Yeah, that one's core, and value is Grasslands. And they show you a bit of the comparables. Like Aurora Cannabis is somewhere around the core, and they have ones for products for that. So the nice thing about this one here, by the way, that's for the dried flowers, is that they have something for everyone except the discount. So when you look into the vapes, for instance, they literally hit one for each, right? Premium, premium core, core, and value. So they have a price point for almost everyone. So that is something exciting when you're looking into a company itself. Right now, they are in the effectiveness phase. So when we're talking about effectiveness, we're looking into basically, they already are in the top 10 LP nationally. They have number 1 vape in LP and ADL, which is the Atlantic Canada. Launched the Palmetto flower core pricing segment in June 2020. There's still yet things to come, but it's not very clear the next catalyst. In terms of their market share, I mean, you're looking into a national share of around 4.5%. Mainly if that is in Western Canada. They also have, I believe, a massive base in Quebec and in Atlantic Canada. Next thing here is the improved supply chain discipline. And you get to see their numbers are some of OTF is at an increase around 96.4%, which is exciting here. Now, the next thing here, of course, this was a while ago. I believe the price at that point was, well, it was quite higher than what it is right now. But taking a quick look in terms of their highlights previously, because the next earnings are coming and you always want to look into the previous highlights. 44% net cannabis revenue increase, so they had increase in revenue in Q2 from Q1. Basically, all throughout, it looks like the debt restructuring, capital raise, the disposition of bridge farm assets, brand sales shift to 69 versus 54. And reduced CMGA by 33 versus Q1 2020. So all around, Q2 looks better than Q1. So now what you gotta ask yourself is, what about Q3, which is yet to come? And I do apologize if I apologize a lot. You'll find me in the video saying sorry quite a bit. I think that's an inherited thing coming in out of being Canadian, but I also apologize again. So let's jump right into the good stuff, going into when the next earnings are going to be. And we get to see it's actually on November 11th. Now, November 11th is a bit after the catalyst that I want to mention. So the current one is around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. November 12th is going to be their conference call, and the information is going to be after market on closing around November 11th. So you got your earnings all the way in November 11th, but the big thing coming up is the elections, which is tonight, November 3rd. I hope you all had the chance to vote and exercise your democratic right if you are in the US. So the thing is, there's been a lot of things about Biden promises on legalizing cannabis. For instance, the former Vice President Joe Biden running mate, I'm just going to go through a key point. The former Vice President Joe Biden and running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, support adult use marijuana decriminalization, moderate rescheduling, federal medical legalization, allowing states to set their own laws. There's also going to be alongside tax revenue and job creation. That's basically the argument they're going with. Basically very similar towards the Canadian one. 4 states have adult use legalization initiatives on their November ballots. And so there is going to be a move coming up towards legalizing cannabis. And if that is the case, even though SNDL does not sell in the US, but that could be an expansion market, or at least it will jump because the industry of the weed market will jump. Now, there's a lot of OTC companies in the US. I just don't like to dive into that OTC pool, but yeah, that is also an option. So it's not very specifically for this one here, but I just wanted to mention that catalyst coming up. The next thing here is institutional buyers. They've been almost all of them pulling back, or at least adding very small positions around 5,000 shares. That doesn't come with much. I think it's around $600, $700. But a lot of it is either getting scared of trading the stock because it dipped quite a lot, or something significantly to lowering their positions towards the election. Next thing coming up is their shelf offering that they have around 82 million shares, or around almost 400,000 shares. And that was, I believe, all the way back a month back, or sorry, not a month back, that's actually 2 weeks back. So there's still that, right? They can any day slap you with another offering, although I don't really imagine why they would slap it this low in price. Sundial expands the brand portfolio presence with Palmetto. It was 5, not 6 brands. This is the 5th one, Palmetto. And they're basically trying to expand their presence into remaining parts of Canada. Now, it's already recently launched in Quebec and was sold out within 2 weeks, indicating early resonance with customers in a rapidly expanding competitive market. So it shows that there is a demand for this hippie kind of one, and basically they're going to expand it up and roll it out. That PR was in the last 2 weeks, so the price didn't expand much. Next thing is the reverse split. If you go on any chat rooms, you'll find a lot of people crying out reverse split, reverse split, reverse split. So when is a reverse split possible? Now, they still have until December 28th, so I wouldn't worry until maybe, for instance, early on December. I zoomed here for y'all, but basically I wouldn't worry until early December. And the reason for this is a lot can happen between then and here. If marijuana legalizes and they have plans to expand to the US, you might actually see it run above $1 for 10 days. But until now, December 1st, probably I would start worry, but from this point on, I wouldn't very much worry about it. Now, the last thing I want to go for here is one of the latest 6K documents here, and this one comes from KPMG, and that's basically in their audit. And I want to go towards their opinion. In our opinion, the consolidated financial statement presents fairly, in all material respect, the financial position of the company as of December 2019 and 2018, and its financial performance and its cash flow for the year ended December 2019, the 10 months period ended December 31st, 2018, and the year ended February 28, 2018, in conformity with their international financing reporting standards and issued by the International Accounting Standards Boards. Very basic stuff, but it doesn't give me highlights on any red flags, so I would say probably doesn't give us a little bit of a red flag here and there. But now comes towards two things. What is going to happen with this one, right? Is it going to crash? Is it going to tank? Is it going to jump? Well, usually I don't trade around elections, but this is one of the stocks that I would say, if Trump wins, it might tank. If Biden wins, this one might see a jump. And that's the next catalyst. After this comes the next quarter, which we might see a jump closer to it, but that's what we have in the horizon. I cannot predict whether Trump or Biden would win, and that is something up for the American people to decide, but that is the facts that we're looking at into what probably is going to be happening based on the legislations and what's on their ticket. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Should I subscribe and like it? Have a wonderful day.